how can you really actively live and be part of people's lives if you're just going to completely deny that there's ever any finality to people's lives?
Yeah.
And then with kids, like, I don't know, I don't have children yet, but I know my mum had a completely different attitude to death as soon as she had children. Did you find that?
On the day after Carolyn died, I came home straight in the morning and sat on the stairs and told Cecily, and the first thing she said is, "Can I see her?" And I said, "Well, you can, of course, but you
Yeah.
understand that she's dead now, and it will feel different." And she said, "No, I want to go and see her." And I mean, it's making me
Yeah,
well
yeah.
now, because it was just an extraordinarily profound moment of that. Seems like however hard that might be, I think that it just seems like an incredibly incredible decision for her to make at the age of not even 8.
And that's a really strong thing, because I think so much about death is people disappearing. It's out of control, isn't it? You just never see them again. One of the biggest things that really changed my thinking was my dad died very unexpectedly when I was living in New Zealand at the time. And when I went away, he wasn't ill or anything, but it felt like kind of my worst nightmare of just not being there. And, it was just so utterly surreal, but completely the most real thing that had happened at that time. I mean, I'd lost people before, but again, I don't know about you, because it depends how your family deals with death and stuff, but all of my family have not been good at all at dealing with it. And even when we were doing all these death cafes and stuff, Mum's like, I don't want to go, I don't want to talk about death, I'm not interested. She's got a very different view of things. And which I understand as well, but for me it was like I had to change my thinking on it, because it was terrifying, because you were just in this reality where it was like, well, if anything can happen at any time, you're either trapped in a kind of eternal moment of at any moment people can just disappear, and it's just horrendous. You go, there's no rules about who's safe or not. And then but then eventually I had to come to the point of view to kind of be able to carry on, rather than just sitting there in a state of rabbit in the headlights. Was going, well, if anything can happen at any time, then I must have some agency to, like, connect with people, affect change, reach out and speak to people, do things basically. So it kind of, I chose to go that way with it. And I've I'm nowhere near sorted about death or anything like that. I still find it terrifying to think of people disappearing, but in terms of how I lived my life after that, I think was very different, because it was such a, an ultimate reality.